Hey, Russell Hotels going live just for a couple minutes. You guys know how I do it. I love that little jam, right? Back in the day, it was called "It's Gonna Be a All Night Thing." I don't know who sang it. I just like the little jingle. Okay, I've always liked that song. The song got to be at least 40 years old. I don't know. Not that I was around when it first came out, but you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. Anyway, hey, I'm Russell Hotels. I do these daily check-ins. This is called a daily check-in, right? I do them daily, Monday through Friday. Hours change, holidays, depending on what's going on. I normally do it about noon, but it's 2 o'clock now, right? It's about 2 o'clock. So on what is the date? The date is Thursday. Today's Thursday, December 21st. A couple of days before Christmas, right? But yeah, so I do this daily check-in. It's all about hospitality with me. You guys know that. I've been in the hospitality industry for 30 years, 25, 30 years, somewhere in between there. I left a couple of times and came back, so that's why I say 25 to 30 because I'm not really sure, but I know it's been at least 25 and it's as many as 30. I don't know, but it doesn't matter, right? So during this journey of hospitality, you kind of amass experiences and things like that. So now I'm more of a resource than anything, right? So I want to be a resource to people that need assistance with hotels, specifically group, 10 rooms or more, because I do hotel site selection. But, the inner workings of how hotels work and operate, all that kind of stuff, I pay attention to. I have a lot of conversations with people almost daily about, what's going on, ins and outs of hotels, the trials and tribulations of, the hospitality industry, the new things, the old things, sales, operations, all those kind of things. HR, I mean, all those, things that come up, issues, it could be issues or, just, people call me to celebrate their successes too. So that's what it's all about. And, people call me about, hey, how do I get business here? Or have some HR issues, or what do you think about this? What do you think about that? So more of a consultant, that's what it comes down to. More of a consultant kind of role now. Not on property, been out property since 2000, I think 18, since 2018, right? My last hotel was the Sheraton Universal, the Universal Studios. I was the director of sales and marketing. So I started off in housekeeping years ago, right? As a housekeeping manager, worked my way up through operations, did some food and beverage, did front office, did some, I was an AGM, or I was a night manager, then became an AGM, and then became a GM, general manager. Um, then I was a director of sales and marketing, of course, sales manager, director of sales and marketing along the way. And I ended being a director of sales and marketing because that's what my passion was: more marketing, more of the selling, more getting the business in the door, right? As far as operating a hotel, yeah, I can do that, right? Like as a general manager or whatever. But do I prefer to do that? No, I don't. So that's why I went back to being in sales. So that's what my first love is. But anyway, hey, the chats are open, right? I should be live on like 5. Excuse me. And I don't know why I get choked up when I get on and start doing these live when I start talking, right? So, but anyway, I'm not in the hotel. That's my living room, right? That's our tree. You can see the tree and the blinds. That's all you can see, right? And that's probably all you need to see, right? But yeah. So normally I'm in a hotel or I'm showing the hotel, things like that. But for the holidays, I'm gonna take a break from that, right? I showed one hotel the other day that won't be that hotel again by the end of the year. I guess actually next year. So the Ace Hotel I had mentioned a couple of days ago, doing this live, that the Ace Hotel downtown Los Angeles will not be the Ace Hotel as of January 31st of 2024. Okay, so they have decided. Well, Ace Hotel is basically a management company. They had a management contract with that ownership group, and the ownership group chose not to what do you call it? I guess re-sign the contract, the agreement for them to manage it. So basically, another company will be coming in because somebody had asked me about that hotel. Well, what's going to happen? They're going to close the doors and it's going to be boarded up. What's going to happen to the building? Well, the building will still be a hotel. It's just that a new management company will come in and manage it. So Ace will no longer manage the hotel. It won't be an Ace Hotel. I'm not even sure the name of it. Um, at this point. I don't know what the name is going to be. I do know the name of the management company that's taking it over, but that's not for me to say at this time because I don't think it's. I think it's public, it's out there, but a lot of people they haven't put two to two together. Like, oh well, this. If people were really interested, they could find out exactly who is taking over the hotel. But like I said, it's not once it's public, then to everyone knows, then I'll bring it up, right? So I'm not, like I said, I'm not the gossip columnist for the hospitality industry in LA. Okay, so that's why I'm not saying anything. So anyway, but I do know, and I've known for quite some time, but I just wait because I'm Russell of Hotels, right? So that's my job to know that. But anyway, hey, the chat is open, so feel free to make comments if you want to. I'm live on. Did I tell you I was live on like 5 platforms? So I should be live on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, IG, and X. X is the old Twitter. Okay, so just in case you know what is X, I don't know what X is. X is Twitter. Okay, Elon Musk bought Twitter and named it X. That was like his major contribution to the platform. So I'm like, okay, whatever. Hey, whatever makes you feel good, let's roll with it. You know what I mean? So feel free to make comments. I actually I can see comments on Facebook. But see, I don't understand why. Anyway, if you're there, if you're anywhere on these platforms, just make a comment. Just say, hey, boo, whatever, and what the hell you doing? Whatever you want to say, because I want to make sure that something comes up, if that's okay, on my screen. Okay, so if somebody is there, anyone, doesn't matter who you are, if you see me, can you make a comment? And I don't care if you just put the finger. I don't care. Just do something, and I can see that I am transmitting to these 5 platforms, right? So I just want to see at least one. Can I get a one? Can I get a one? But yeah, but anyway, I come on and I do these things, and I do have a topic that I normally talk about, and I do have one today. It's always about something in hospitality, something that we can learn from people that are. This one has something to do with people that are looking for positions or a new job or whatever. And I'll get in that. I'll get into it later because it's just going to be a couple of minutes. These lives are not meant to be long and drawn out. I say that for Tuesdays. Tuesdays I do a show called On Air with Russell of Hotels. So this is the daily check-in with Russell of Hotels. So 2 totally different things. Try to create a different kind of vibe. This only goes about 20 to 30 minutes. Okay. The On Air with Russell of Hotels goes a full hour. Okay, maybe it may go an hour and some change every now and then, depending on how winded I am, or if I have a guest on. And sometimes I have guests on here too. So if the guests come on the daily check-in, of course it's going to go a little longer. But I try to keep it, within their talk is about 15 minutes. I try to still keep it within about 30 minutes because, like I said, these are not meant to be long-winded and all that stuff. Now, if I get questions and things like that, then hey, so be it. But it's not really meant for that. But I'll adjust because, you got to adjust on the fly sometime, right? You just do what you got to do. So, but let's see. Anyway, okay, so I know I'm live on Facebook. Okay, so you ain't got to say nothing. I'm live on Facebook. Just hold on one second. I just want to check LinkedIn. Hold on one second. So I'm live in LA, just in case you didn't know. So, you see the ticker going down across. Yep, I'm live on LinkedIn. Okay. So you just want to make sure that you are there. I'm not going to go through all 5 to make sure I'm live, but I did want to make sure that the major ones, people do see me. And, I missed a couple of days of doing, these daily lives and daily check-ins. And it does matter, right? It matters as far as your engagement, right? So when you don't do things consistently, your engagement will go down, okay? So I know we all have lives. We all have to live our lives, and we all have to, sometimes take a break from doing certain things, or, you get busy and you don't have time to do it, right? Well, I mentioned this yesterday and the day before, is that I had a hip issue, so I couldn't get to my desk and do anything for a couple of days, right? So, but I checked in my engagement and all that stuff, all the metrics, from the last time I did it to the last time I did it, and engagement was down, right? So it does matter. So if you don't do things consistently, your numbers do go down. Okay, and I'm speaking of the social media numbers, the engagement, the metrics, how many comments, likes, follow, whatever the heck however you want to put it. Those things, those are measurable, and you'll see in real time, what kind of impact you're having, within that social media platform, right? So it's important for a marketer like myself that especially if I'm trying to sell, my services to say hotels, meaning I want hotels to promote their businesses or their hotels on my platform, right? On air with Russell Hotels or daily check-in. Because normally what I do show is a hotel in the background. So today is my treat, right? In the living room at my house, right? So normally there's a hotel and I'm giving a story about that hotel. I'm telling you about the specifics of the hotel, where it's located, how big it is, how much meeting space they have, what type of groups come here, what type of business, what is located near, what are traffic generators. Those are things that I would normally talk about, right? Well, I'm not doing that right now, but I am letting people know that when you don't have engagement, when you stop doing certain things that you've been doing for a while and you stop doing it, your engagement does go down, right? So it behooves you to try to stay consistent. But like I said, during the holidays, there's a lot of inconsistency because schedules are different. People are busy because you spend time with family, which is good. That's what you should do, right? So, but I just want to let people know that people will miss what you post. If you've been posting for a while and all of a sudden you just stop, okay? People do miss that. So there you go. Just, is that food for thought? I don't know if that's food for thought or just something to make you go, Russell, I didn't know that, but you know what? Thanks for letting me know. Now that makes sense because I was getting all this, this engagement before, and then all of a sudden it stopped. And well, how do what do you relate that to? Well, I stopped doing my postings. I stopped posting things. I stopped doing my lives. I stopped doing a daily check-ins. Well, yeah, it's a direct result of that. So there you go. But hey, before I get into it, and this is not a commercial or anything like that, but you know what I found, or I think my daughter found it. I like around the holidays, I like what do you call it? Eggnog. Okay, but you guys know I don't drink dairy. I don't eat meat. I don't do anything like that. So I have a kind of a vegan diet, right? Well, they found this. It's called Chobani oat milk, right? So it's like oat nog, eggnog, but it's oat. It's like oat milk, but it has the spices of an eggnog without the dairy and all that stuff. So they brought this to me, and I'm like, they brought me like two different kinds, right? Two different brands of different kind of dairy less, no dairy eggnog substitute. So I drank one. I'm like, kind of water. It was kind of milky. It was thin like milk or almost like water. I'm like, oh no, I don't like this. But I drank it. Okay, had a little flavor, but it wasn't good. I can't remember the brand, but anyway, got rid of it. I drank it, and I don't want any more of that one. So they got this one called Chobani oat milk, and I have to show it. Okay, like I said, I'm not trying to promote anything, but if you don't drink dairy and you like eggnog, I'm just saying you should try this one. Can you see that? Chobani oat milk, oat nog. Okay, so that's all I'm gonna show on that. But it's thicker. It has the consistency of an eggnog. You probably can mix some liquor with it. Some, what do we mix with it? Like rum or something like that. You probably can mix. I think I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna mix some rum with it and see if it has the same consistency, right? Because I love that. And this one is like you can warm it up, and I swear it's like a chai latte, like an oat nog chai latte. Oh my God! I warmed it up. It was so good. So anyway, I just had to say that. I don't know why, but I just had to say that. Give little, Chobani oat milk. Give them a little. Promote them a little bit today. I didn't mean to do that, but I did it anyway. So, but anyway, let me get into what I'm talking about. Like I said, these things don't have to be long, and I'm just, drawing it out for some people. People are like, you know what, Russell, you're doing this when you should be doing that. Okay. But anyway, once again, live on YouTube, live on Facebook, LinkedIn, IG, and X. Okay. So if you have comments, feel free to make the comments. Hopefully I do see them. No one had made a comment. But you know what? I know I'm live on LinkedIn because I'm just looking at it right now. Hey, LinkedIn people, and I'm gonna just kind of go over to Facebook real quick before I talk about what I'm gonna talk about. So you guys see that it says know your worth and the worth of the job. Okay, even if it's a task force opportunity. Okay, of course this is for hotel people, hospitality people that are looking for a new job, right? They want a new, they want to start the new year with a new job, new opportunity. And I love that. And I'm all for that, right? So, but know your worth, right? Know what, the experiences that you have and the work experience that you have gained over the years, it's worth something. It's worth a certain amount of money, right? So know what that is, know what that number is, but also know the worth of the job. Okay, I always talk about, and I've been talking about this um, during the interview process. The interview process is not just them interviewing you; it's you interviewing them. And some of these interviews, probably second interview or whatever, it'll come down to, okay, this is the salary. Can you do it for that? Okay, we have to know exactly what is that number they're going to offer. Okay, we need to know. We need to do comparative shopping in that particular area, in that market, right? So if you know people from competing hotels, you need to find out exactly what they're offering, or what they're offering, or what they think that position, whatever that position is, if it's a director of sales and marketing position, what should that position pay? And are you willing, knowing your worth and knowing your experience that you bring to this hotel, is it enough? Right? I don't care if it's a task force opportunity. And this is what brought it up, right? So I saw this one hotel. It's not actually a hotel. It's a hotel, so it's a ship with a hotel on it, right? So it's the Queen Mary. I'll just throw it out there. It's the Queen Mary, right? So I saw this position. They're looking for a task force director of sales and marketing. Now, for people that don't know, a task force is a temporary position, right? Task force director of sales and marketing is temporary, meaning you're not permanent. They're looking for, you probably will hire you in lieu of finding someone else, right? Which is great, right? A lot of people do task force all the time, and that's a good thing. I've done task force, and it's been good. And you know what your expiration date is, right? Meaning, okay, they sign me up for 6 weeks, so I know January 31st, 2024. My time is gonna end unless they extend it, right? I know that, but there was a position that I saw just today, which made me come up with this topic. I saw the position that's open today, right, for a task force director of sales and marketing at the Queen Mary, which is in Long Beach, okay? And they had a certain dollar amount attached to that, and it was way low, right? I'm like, that's low, because sometimes task force mean they're getting it at a discount. Well, is your experience at a discount? No, you still amass that experience, right? You still have that experience. So why would you go in there for less? And maybe that was a typo. Maybe that number was a typo, but it was way low. It was probably at least 25K lower than what it should be. Okay. And I do research on salaries all the time because people ask me that, right? So that's kind of some of the things that I do when people are getting ready for interviews. They're like, what should I ask for? You know what I mean? Well, what position is it? Where's it located? And I'll do the kind of the legwork and find out exactly what that position should pay, right? And within this range, right? Well, the range that they're giving is way low, is way low. So what I'm trying to say is, even if we're doing task force opportunities, your worth is still your worth, right? Know what your worth is, know what your experience is, know what you bring to the table. Because people will, because you're tasked for, well, this is temporary. That doesn't, but your experience is not temporary. You worked your butt off to get that experience, right? So they're paying for your experience, okay? Remember that. And sometimes we forget that, I've amassed all this stuff. I get business and I've turned hotels around. It's based on your experience, right? So keep that in mind. Do not discount your experience because it's task force, okay? Task force is just a temporary. So even if it's a temporary position, say they're looking for, oh, you're going to be there about 3 months. Okay, that's 90 days, right? So why would I discount 90 days, because it's only 90 days, right? No, don't discount your worth. So know what you're worth and know what the job is worth. that job, if it was a permanent position, and if they're paying 80,000, 86, well, I just said it, they're paying like $86,000. That's crazy because know the history of the hotel. The hotel has been closed down. Okay, that particular hotel, that ship, had been closed down for over 2 years, right? It reopened back in May of this year. Okay, so meaning it was off the market for 2 years. No one thought about it. So just think about the marketing efforts that you have to put forth in there. Now, did they do the renovation they're supposed to do? Because a lot of people had a bad taste in their mouth about the lack of renovation that had been going on at that particular hotel. So is that now up to par? We need to know that, right? So those are things that you're fighting against, okay, when you're taking a position like that. So like I always say, it's not they're interviewing you, but you're interviewing them. You have to ask those questions, like in lieu of, because most interviews are Zoom before you actually go in, right? Most interviews, the first interview is going to be a Zoom call, okay? But it's your job to go and do your research. I mean, you need to walk that place, walk that hotel, walk that ship, walk the plank, whatever you need to do. You need to walk and be familiar with what you will be getting into, and know the area of the hotels that you're competing against. Because although it is a hotel on that ship, you're still competing with the area hotels, right? I think it has 300 and something staterooms. Okay, that's what they call them on the ship, a stateroom, right? So I think it has over 300. So compared to a 300-room hotel, but this is a historic thing, right? This is a historic ship, right? They'll never build another one like this. Okay, so that comes with a lot more. You got to market it a lot better than what they had been doing. You want to make sure you're talking about all the changes that they have made. That stuff comes with a price, right? And because it's going to be hard to get people to come back there. It is. I mean, I'm just saying, I've been there. I've seen it. I questioned a lot of things at that particular hotel. I know a couple people that work there, right? So I haven't taken a tour yet, but I will, because I want to see exactly what's going on there. But I remember the last time I saw it. So I don't have to see it now. I just remember the last time I saw it. And whoever takes that position is not going to be an easy transition to start getting business. Because at the end of the day, what do you measured on? What's your success measured on? It's measured on numbers. Have you increased numbers? Okay, have you hit that number that they have, that pie in the sky that they have, right? That whatever $1 million mark in room sales. I'm just throwing it out as an example. Have you met that mark? That's what they're looking for, right? So, and you're always going to be compared to the previous year, or probably in this case 2019, which was probably the best year for a lot of places, right? So, is that fair? No, because remember, 2019 was probably a great year for a lot of hotels, and you got to be realistic when it comes to that. We're never going to go back to those numbers. I don't care what you say. So just know, like I said, know your worth and know the worth of the job. Know what your experience is. Know what you bring to the table. Know what that job is worth. Are they the same? Because once you take and sign, whatever comes with it, you've accepted that position for that amount of money. Okay, and they're expecting you to perform at that point. So make sure you get everything that you want before you do it. Sometimes we have to walk away. Like, you know what? This is not enough because I know the amount of work that it's going to take. And that's okay, right? It's okay. You don't have to take every job that's offered to you. You have to be comfortable enough that I can make this happen. Yeah, it's going to be a challenge, but I can make it happen. Nothing's going to be easy, okay? Don't misinterpret what I'm saying. Nothing is going to be easy. Everyone wants to be challenged or needs to be challenged, right? But your challenges have to be realistic too, okay? And you got to do it for a price that's within your worth, okay? $86,000 is not, okay? And even if it's task force, okay? Task force does not mean discounted price. Task force it means it's a temporary position, okay? And you hit the ground running just like you would hit the ground running if it was a permanent position. So why would, I'm just, sometimes I look at stuff and like I said, maybe that's an error. Maybe they wrote that wrong. They transposed some numbers. I don't know. They forgot a number, but I don't know. But it's your job to research. I don't care what position it is. any position that you see, if it's a task force position, they should be paying you the same if it was a permanent position. There's no different, okay? And in fact, task force should be probably more because you have some expenses that come along with it. You're not a permanent position; it's a contract position, okay? You don't work for them. You're independent, so they got to pay you as an independent. So just remember that they're not paying for your medical costs and things like that. So you got to think about all that stuff too. Remember, I've done task force as well. So no, they got to come with it. And if it's the price is not where you think it should be for you, if it's not within your worth, and everyone has that number of what they're worth, right? Then you don't take it because I'll just wait for another opportunity. Because remember this, all money ain't good money. Okay. Sometimes we get in desperate situation. I understand we got to do certain things, but sometimes when we make those kind of decisions, the job does suffer, right? Sometimes it does. So anyway, that's it. You know what? I just want to talk about that, and you can tell I was a little passionate about that one, right? So let me just make sure I don't see any comments there. Let me look on, is that Facebook right there? Let me just check out Facebook. I don't see anything on Facebook. So that's okay. That's fine. But people will look at this on the replay. I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Once again, Russell of Hotels. This is my daily check-in. Do this thing daily, Monday through Friday. I'll do it again tomorrow. If you didn't like what I said today, guess what? I'll have something else for you tomorrow. So woohoo! So I guess that's it, right? So no, I guess so. Let me see. What else? Do I have anything else here? Any housekeeping notes? Nope. I just changed screens. But the same thing was on the same screen. But anyway, that is it. You guys have a great day. Once again, Russell Hotels. I'm out. You guys have a great day, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Not sure the time, but it'll be in the afternoon, maybe around the same time. So until tomorrow.